What we know is that bullying is consistent, repeated aggressive behavior. It might be physically aggressive, it might be emotionally aggressive. There is such a thing as relational bullying. There's cyberbullying. That's a significant issue with our children online. It could be because that child is jealous of another student. It could be to make themselves look popular or be involved in a crowd or to look tough or feel powerful. It could be to escape their own problems, or it could be because they're bullied themselves. We found more and more with children in schools that children who tend to bully sometimes are bullied at home or are bullied at school or in their lives elsewhere. Maybe they're withdrawn from friends or family. Maybe their eating habits are changed. Maybe they're worried. They share a lot of fear. They're afraid of going to school. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to go to soccer practice. They're kind of holding up a little at home. Nightmares are often a red flag for children, although nightmares are also very common for children in elementary school. Physical ailments, physical complaints, and schoolwork declining can all be red flags of bullying. The ways that we help our children who are being bullied are the same ways that we build resilience in children. Relying on relationships, that's a really big one. We want to make sure that our children have relationships with significant, appropriate, positive adults. Maybe that's parents, maybe that's a school counselor, maybe that's grandparents or neighbors or people from a spiritual community, but they have significant positive adults in their lives. We also want to make sure that we listen to our children. We learned, I think some of us growing up, to say sticks and stones can break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Well, the truth is that names do hurt. And so although we want our children to be strong and resilient, we also want to take seriously their concerns and their fears. Other ways that children can be bolstered with regards to bullying: a sense of humor sure doesn't hurt. Feelings of self-worth, as we talked about with resilience, are helpful. Focusing on that child's strengths, focusing on what they do well. Also a sense of empathy, our having empathy for them, and perhaps them even having empathy for the person who bullies can be a helpful piece. As parents and as significant adults in children's lives, our goal is to create appropriate, safe boundaries for children. What that means with regards to bullying, in particular cyberbullying, is to keep an eye on technology. Not appropriate for children, especially elementary, middle school, to have a computer in their bedroom. We want always to have children on technology in a place where adults can oversee. There's been a lot of research done on bullying, particularly with regards to the bully, the victim, and what's called the bystander, the person who's looking on. And what we're learning is that we want to really enhance the goal of the bystander, so that children who are viewing bullying might step up and say, knock it off, you know, or they might join with the child who's being bullied and walk away. Because what that does is it takes some of the power away from the person who is bullying. Finally, I would speak to you as a therapist and a parent with regards to our own parenting. My daughter has a saying that I like very much. She says, normal is only a setting on a washing machine. And so there's no such thing as an absolute normal with children. I would say that anyone with a navel experiences some pain in our lives. It's just part of being a human being. I would also say, never worry alone. There's a great therapist and speaker who talks about when you're concerned about something, be it with your own child or with yourself, never worry alone. And so as adults also, we want to rely on relationships. It might mean talking to a friend, talking to someone who's a spiritual leader, talking to a school counselor, talking to a therapist, talking to other parents, to talk about what we're concerned about. And one of the places to go is to find support for ourselves as parents, and support for our children is a place like Catalpa Health that will support us in the journey.